I was talking to someone yesterday from the Georgia Department of Economic Development, and she goes, no, the lady from Gardasil was like, I love your theme song. I love your whole production. It's just really vested. Yeah. Let me know when you're ready. I'm ready. 10 o'clock. Hey everyone, James Azar here with CyberHub Engage. We are live on YouTube. It is 10 a.m. Eastern, where I'm at. It's 8 a.m. in the morning. I still haven't had my daily triple shot of espresso, so my energy level just isn't the same. I really need to find hotels that only serve espressos. None of this, Keurig bullshit. So anyways, today is Thursday, January 30th, and here are our headlines for your daily cyber briefing. An Emotet uses coronavirus scare to infect Japanese targets. UN kept hacker attacks under wraps and in hiding. A ransomware Bitcoin wallet frozen by UK courts to recover a ransom. And Microsoft Azure flaws could have let hackers take over your cloud servers. And now for your daily cyber briefing, brought to you by our friends at Get Smart Eye. If you're in Israel and you're at CyberTech, make sure you go stop by, let them know we sent you. Or if you're listening or watching us on YouTube, go to smarteyetechnologies.com. Links in the description of this podcast and this video, where you can find out more about the revolutionary biometric document application. And now let's get into today's stories. A mouse spam campaign is actively distributing Emotet payloads via emails that warn the targets of coronavirus infection reports in various prefectures from Japan, including Gifu, Osaka, and Tottori. To scare the potential victims into opening the malicious attachments, the spam emails camouflage as official notifications from disability welfare service providers and public health centers, promise to provide more details on preventative measures against the coronavirus infections within the attachments. The Emotet gang is known for taking advantage of trending current events and approaching holidays by sending out targeted custom templates, such as invites to a Greta Thunberg demonstration, how dare you, or a Christmas or Halloween parties, a double how dare you, taking advantage of our holidays. They are doing it again in the case of this campaign, exploiting an ongoing global scale health crisis triggered by infections with the new 2019 novel coronavirus strain that causes respiratory illness for their own malicious purposes. According to reports from various people in the InfoSec community, this campaign is using stolen emails from previously compromised accounts as a template to attempt and infect recipients with Emotet. However, others point out that Japanese in the subject and file names is strange, in that this looks a little bit more sophisticated than the traditional Emotet distribution attempts. The subject of the emails as well as the document file names are similar but not identical, this according to a report by IBM X-Force Threat Intel. They are composed of different representations of current date and the Japanese word for notification in order to suggest urgency. One of the spam emails sent as part of this ongoing campaign is alerting of infections being reported in the Osaka prefecture. Some of the email samples spotted by researchers while monitoring this campaign also come with a footer containing the address of the institution that supposedly sent the coronavirus infection notification for added authenticity. These guys are getting good with these emails. They're taking advantage of current events. So as practitioners, let's educate our people. Let's ensure that we're controlling the flow of information, that we're coordinating with HR and other places within our organization to get out these messaging, and that'll also lower that risk. In our next story for the day, we'll move to the United Nations. Yep, that real estate in New York that we all just want to take down and build a bunch of Trump towers on. The United Nations didn't reveal hacks last year that compromised dozens of servers and domains and may have exposed sensitive data, This according to, including information related to human rights abuses, this according to the New Humanitarian, a news agency that covers human rights issues. The hacking incidents, which took place at 3 United Nations offices in Vienna and Geneva sometime around July of last year, appeared to have compromised at least 40 servers as well as several domains. This according to the Wednesday report in the New Humanitarian, which is based on confidential UN report it had obtained. The domains included those for the United Nations offices in Geneva and Vienna, and the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, this according to the Associated Press. While some UN officials know about the hacking, most were kept in the dark for months until this week's news reports, according to the news agencies. A few staffers were told in August to change their passwords, but were not told why. Since the hacking incident, and UN staffers have spent weeks rebuilding servers and clearing out malicious code from the network in Vienna and Geneva. Many of the compromised servers and domains contain data from UN human rights offices that track and collect sensitive data about abuses around the world, according to the news report. At a press briefing on Wednesday, UN spokesperson Stephanie Duracek acknowledged the hacks but downplayed their significance. This particular attack that your colleagues reported on is not a landmark event, Duracek said. This according to the readout. She continues to say these things, attempts to attack the UN IT infrastructure, happen often. The attribution of any IT attack remains very fuzzy and uncertain, so we are not able to pinpoint to any specific potential attacker, but it was, from all accounts, a well-resourced attack. The attack failed the hallmark of a significant operation, according to the Associated Press, but also reviewed internal UN documents related to the hacking. It appears that threat actors were able to take advantage of a vulnerability in Microsoft SharePoint, which is tracked as CVE 2019-0604. This according to, again, another report by the New Humanitarian. The flaw has been known since February of 2019, when Microsoft issued the first patch, and if it remained unpatched, then an attacker could run arbitrary code within the SharePoint application. UN officials have kept tight lips about the incident. The attack remains under investigation by the UN investigators and IT personnel. The New Humanitarian reported that at least 400 gigabytes of data may have been downloaded by the hackers. That may have included internal documents, database, emails, commercials, information, and personal data. In addition to the compromised servers and domains, the attackers appear to have swiped the passwords and credentials of several high-ranking administrators, which could have allowed the hackers to gain access to some of the most sensitive data. It also appears that attackers were able to wipe internal IT logs, which helped hide their activity and make tracing the hacking to a specific group of country much more difficult. In a statement released Wednesday, the UN Human Rights Office noted that while attackers appear to have compromised the organization's Active Directory, an internal review did not show that sensitive data was compromised. A very interesting story out of the UN, a cover-up or a cover-up in order to investigate and come up with proof. Unknown at this time. The UN's been very, very dodgy about this. We'll keep monitoring this and bring it back if something really develops there. Otherwise, this just kind of shows the cover-up. Just want to remind everyone that on February 4th, we will be in Dallas for our live podcast. You can go register now, thanks to our host, Armor, for helping us out with our location. And we're excited to have Mark Hopp, the CISO at DataBank, and Patrick Benoit, the BISO at CBRE, joining us. Make sure you go to cyberhubengage.com and register now. This is a limited event. We are expecting a complete and full room, so get your tickets now or otherwise be left out in the dark. And to add to our third story of the day, where a victim's insurance company convinced the UK courts to freeze a Bitcoin wallet containing over $800,000 worth of ransomware payments. In October 2019, a Canadian insurance company was hacked by the BitPayer ransomware operators who encrypted 1,000 computers and 20 servers. To receive a decryptor, the operators demanded a $1.2 million payment as ransom. As the victim had a cyber insurance policy, their insurance carrier agreed to pay, and after negotiations, were able to reduce the paid ransom to $950,000 in Bitcoins. After making the ransom payment, the insurance carrier did something a little smart that the criminal hackers did not know about. They worked with blockchain data analysis company Chainalysis to track down the ransom payment to a wallet hosted at Bitfinex cryptocurrency exchange. The wallet contained 96 bitcoins, or approximately $860,000 at today's pricing. In a private hearing with UK courts, the insurance carrier requested that the wallet be frozen and that Bitfinex turn over information about the owners of the wallet. The court document states that the hearing was held in private to prevent the wallet holders from being tipped off and transferring the bitcoins elsewhere. There was also a concern that the BitPaymer actors could take revenge on the original victim by releasing confidential information or stolen data. On January 17th, the court granted a proprietary injunction to the claimant, which requires Bitfinex to freeze the wallet and not allow transactions to occur with the wallet's cryptocurrency holdings. It's an interesting tactic, folks. And by the way, this is absolutely brilliant. I mean, hats down to the Canadian insurance company. Really, I don't often praise Canada, but this time I will praise Canada. Well done. This was a brilliant move to try and recover the payments, but also start to sow discord in how these ransomware and these criminals are getting paid. And now for our final story of the day, where cybersecurity researchers at Checkpoint disclosed details of two recently patched, potentially dangerous vulnerabilities in Microsoft Azure services that, if exploited, could have allowed hackers to target several businesses that run their web and mobile apps on Azure. Azure App Service is a fully managed integrated service that enables users to create web and mobile apps for any platform or device and easily integrate them with any SaaS solution, on-premise apps to automate business processes. According to a report researchers shared, the first security vulnerability, CVE 2019-1234, is a request spoofing issue that affected Azure Stack, a hybrid cloud computing software solution by Microsoft. If exploited, the issue would have enabled a remote hacker to unauthorized access, screenshots, and sensitive information of any virtual machine running on Azure infrastructure. It doesn't matter if they're running on a shared, dedicated, or isolated VM. According to researchers, this flaw is exploited through Microsoft Azure Stack Portal, an interface where users can access clouds they have created using Azure Stack. By leveraging an Ensure API, researchers found a way to get virtual machine name and ID hardware information like cores, total memory of targeted machine, and then used it with another unauthenticated HTTP request to grab screenshots. The second issue, the CVE 2019-1372, is a remote code execution flaw that affected the Azure App Service on Azure Stack, which would have enabled the hacker to take complete control over the entire Azure server and consequently take control over an enterprise business code. What's more interesting is that an attacker can exploit both issues by creating a user account with Azure Cloud and running malicious functions on it by sending unauthenticated HTTP requests to the Azure Stack user portal. Checkpoint published a detailed technical post on the second flaw, but in a brief, it resided in the way of a DWA SSVC, a service responsible for managing and running tenant apps and internet worker processes, which actually run the tenant applications, communicate with each other for defined tasks. Checkpoint researcher Ronen Schutzen, who discovered both vulnerabilities, responsibly reported the issues to Microsoft last year and preventing essentially criminal hackers from causing severe damage and chaos, as well as allowing Microsoft Azure to patch the issue, which has since been patched. So make sure that if you're using an Azure infrastructure, you're able to do that. That's it for our daily cyber briefing today. Coming to you live from the road. We'll be back tomorrow with Dan DeCloss, our CEO of Plextrack, for a Friday wrap-up. Bound to be a very, very exciting episode, folks. Very, very exciting. And this Saturday, we'll be featuring a very snippet of our live podcast in Dallas with Mark Hobb and Patrick Benoit. So make sure you tune in to that as well. That's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe, give us 5 stars, let your friends know that this is live each and every single day. And you can also interact with us through our website at CyberHub Engage or any one of our social media channels. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. TGIF just right around the corner. And most of all, stay cyber safe.